GST Act defines what is supply. Though definition itself is not clear, but it's giving few parameters. Supply means all form of supply of goods and services. Like that means definition is itself is saying supply includes supply in the form of sale, barter, exchange, rental, lease, disposal. What is important? Two factors. It is for a consideration and it is in the course of furtherance of business. That means if certain transactions are happening, it will be called a supply when there is a consideration and when there is a in the course or in the furtherance of business. If these two elements are not there, the transactions will not be called supply. Because see the definition, first point, 7 subsection 1. It defines the supply. Supply includes supply of goods or services such as sale, exchange, barter, rental, license, disposal, which is agreed or made to be agreed, made for a consideration for in the course or furtherance of business. So that means there are three things. There are certain transactions. Transactions in the form of sale, barter, exchange, license, rental, lease, or disposal for a consideration and in the course or furtherance of the business. If these two things are not there, some things will not be supplied. That means I'm a household, I'm selling my jewelry. If I'm not doing it in the course of business, then it will not be called supply. GST will not be applicable. So first thing we have to understand, if it is done in the course or furtherance of business and is for the consideration, then it will be called supply. Second leg of the transaction is import of services. If I'm importing the services, we'll see the definition of import of services, export of services while doing the place of supply. If certain transaction is import of services, even without consideration, the transaction will be supply. See, in first leg, the transaction was supply when that was a consideration and that was in the course or furtherance of business. In the second leg, if it is import of services, then it will be called as a supply. What we have to understand, let's say I take two examples. I sell my jewelry. I'm not doing business, I'm selling my household jewelry. That is not my business. Then that will not be called as a supply because that is not in the course of furtherance of business. Let's say I'm constructing a house and I'm taking a architect services from US. As per the GST law, that will be import of services. I'm constructing that house for my business, not for my business purpose. I'm constructing that house for my personal purpose. Even then, that will be called supply. What is the basic difference between clause 1 and 2? In the clause 1, there are two conditions. There should be consideration and it should be in the course or furtherance of business. In the case of import of services, it is not necessary to be in the course or furtherance of the business, but there should be consideration. That means in the case of import of services, if it is for the consideration and it is not in the course or furtherance of business, then it will be called supply. Third leg, if the transactions are covered into schedule 1, then it will be called supply even without consideration, like transaction between principal and agent, transaction between distinct or related persons, transaction between supplier and agent, supplier transaction between two branches. So here, even without consideration, these transactions will be called supply. Then there is a schedule 2. If something is supply, schedule 2 tells for certain transactions whether those transactions will be called supply of goods or supply of services, like composition, like works contract services, restaurant services. They have specifically covered into schedule 2 where that has been held. Those transactions will be called as a supply of services. Then the government may notify certain transactions to be treated as a supply of goods or supply of services. Then there's a schedule 7 as per subsection 2. As per schedule 3, the transactions covered into schedule 3 neither will be supply of goods, neither will be supply of services. Apart from that, central government can also define if certain transactions can be notified not as either of goods, supply of goods or supply of services. So just I am recapitulating the section 7. In detail, we will be covering it separately in separate session. Number 1, for a certain transactions to be supplied, principally, there should be consideration and it should be done in the course or furtherance of the business. Exceptions are there. First exception is if I'm doing import of services for consideration, even if it is for the purpose of furtherance, not for the purpose of my business or furtherance of business, it will be called supply. Schedule 1 transactions will be even without consideration will be called supply. Schedule 2 transactions are classified, giving the classification whether the certain transactions are goods or services. Schedule 3 gives the transactions which are neither goods or services, which are not the supply, not the supply. Because if something is not the supply, the levy will not be there. Now try to understand one point. First, we will see whether certain transaction is a supply as per section 7 or not. If we decide as per section certain transaction not the supply, that will not be subject matter of the GST. Because neither the IGST can be levied, neither the CGST can be levied if the transaction is not the supply. That means if the schedule 3 transactions are there, then it will be called no supply, because that is not a supply per se, and it will not be included in any sort of way in any sort into GST. For limited purpose, we go to the section 17 subsection 3 for the reversal of ITC. For the limited purpose, certain transactions are considered as supply for the limited purpose. Otherwise, in general parlance, if the transactions are covered in schedule 3 like salary, that will not be supply per se. So what we have to understand, if the certain transactions are covered in schedule 3 will not be supply, then the levy will not be the question. Number 2, if certain transaction is supply and is specifically given in the schedule 2 as a goods or services, we have to treat those transactions as the goods or services is defined into schedule 2, like works contract. We'll take it further. Number 3, in normal parlance, for a particular transaction to be supplied, there are 2 things are required. It should be for a consideration and it should be in the course of furtherance of business. It can be sale, it can be barter, it can be exchange, it can be lease, rental, because they have not defined the things there, what is the term supply itself. But if something is for the consideration, something is furtherance of business, then it will be called supply. Exception are import of services and schedule 1. In schedule 1, without consideration, it will be supply. Import of services without in the course or furtherance of business, it will be supply. Schedule 3 transactions will not be supply. So in brief, we have taken the synopsis of section 7. We have to see whether the certain transactions are supply or not, to go further to decide whether the transaction is interest rate supply or not.